Hello, this is James Arthur Ray, the author of the New York Times bestseller Harmonic Wealth, and my latest book, Life Unleashed: How to Live Life on Your Own Terms, Harness Your Unique Genius, and Have Maximum Impact on the World. Now, last week we opened up a brand new series that's going to continue for several weeks around the topic of stress. And just a brief recap, go back and watch that video, the first video, if you did not catch it for some reason, because this is a series and they all go in succession. But just as a brief recap, what we found with the studies from endocrinologist Hans Selye is that there are two types of stress. There is a positive stress and a negative stress. Negative stress are the kinds of stressors that we would typically call stress in today's world, things that you experience that you say are stressful. But we also found that stress is not the enemy. This is one of the things I talk about in Life Unleashed. I hope that you've read it. And in fact, I have a live event, Life Unleashed Live, coming to Phoenix at the end of this year. I hope that you'll get there. You'll be grateful if you do. Now, stress is not the enemy. We explored this last week. The enemy is two things: mindset, or how you interpret the events that life sends your way, and number two, lack of recovery. We're going to explore each of those things in this series, but we're into the mindset issue because it's primary. What Selye's work that we talked about last week proves to us is that things that are, quote, positive stress us just as much as things that are, quote, negative. Now that's a game changer if you get it, because everything contains potential stress or creates potential stress on your body. Everything, whether you like it or not. Now, what determines whether it is distress, which leads to dis-ease, is your mindset, how you interpret it. And so consequently, as we delve more deeply into mindset, let's go to the work from Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck, who has done decades of research on mindset. She's worked with NASCAR drivers. She's worked with a variety of professions to find out how some individuals deal so perfectly and powerfully with stress while others do not. You know, think about a NASCAR driver going at breakneck speeds for how many hours, and one small mistake can not only mean losing the race, it can mean losing life. Talk about potential stress. But what Dweck has found is that there are two basically types of people. There are people that she has termed who have a fixed mindset, and there are people that she calls a growth mindset individual. Now, a fixed mindset individual sees everything as black and white. They believe that all of their skills and all of their abilities are given to them at birth, and things are pretty much black and white. And so consequently, when hardballs and curveballs come their way, they automatically interpret those things as, I can either deal with this or I can't. And if I don't have the skills that I think I should have, and if I weren't given those at birth, or if I didn't have the right family, or I didn't grow up in the right environment, or I didn't develop those at an early age, then I'm basically screwed, right, to use a technical term. But see, that's not true. And those individuals with a growth mindset see the world entirely different. They believe that, yes, there are innate abilities, what I've coined as innate abilities, and we've talked a lot about that in previous videos. Your unique genius, your God-given gifts and talents. And those innate abilities, your unique genius, must be developed. And guess what develops them more than anything else? Stress, right? Research proves that those things that cause us to sit on the edge of our seat, to stand on the edge of the potential abyss, those things that help us push our envelope of our own personal potential, those things that we're not quite sure how to figure out, those things that we're not even sure we have the capability to get through and to figure out, those are what cause the greatest growth. And an individual with a growth mindset interprets the world entirely differently. You see, the beginner sees things either as a blessing or a curse. The master, the person with a growth mindset, and this is from psychologist Carol Dweck from Stanford, not just my ideas. The person with a growth mindset sees everything as an opportunity for development, advancement, growth. Whether they articulate it that way or not is irrelevant. They see everything as an opportunity for development, advancement, and growth. They see everything as an opportunity to improve. You know, one of the qualities that I have found, my research has proven in my own life as well as with hundreds of thousands of other people, is that those individuals who reach the pinnacle of their potential, who really reach a level of ultimate human performance in whatever you're going after in your life and your craft, are individuals who practice what I call the quality of utilization. What is utilization? It says I'm going to take every single thing that life sends to me, whether it's beautiful or ugly, whether it's pleasurable or painful, and I'm going to make it work for me. I'm going to utilize it to my advantage. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Doesn't mean you're going to like it, but you're going to like the outcome. Because you see, an individual with a growth mindset is committed to outcomes. The person with a fixed mindset is committed to pleasing activities. You get the difference? Two different approaches to life, pleasing activities or pleasing results. Which do you want? Because to have pleasing results, sometimes you have to have less than pleasing activities. And you know this is true. I hope I've given you some things to think about with the stressors in your life. You know, what has to happen for you to develop such a growth mindset, starting right now, that you turn your current stressors into opportunities for development, advancement, and growth? You take what you're framing as distress, to use Selye's words, and transmuting those into eustress. What Selye said, eustress, that stress that causes you to compel forward, that pulls you. It's what I call your future pull for development, advancement, and growth. Hope I've given you a few things to think about. Until we speak again, stay awake, love life, and be epic.